Good morning, students. In previous class, we have discussed about root pressure and how the water and mineral salts transport from one part of the plant to another part of the plant through root hairs. Now, we will discussing about transport of mineral salts and food in plants. You know, children, mineral salts are essential for plant nutrition. In plant nutrition, mainly two types of nutrients are present. They are micronutrients and macronutrients. And the nutrients are obtained from the soil solution through the root hairs. The mineral salts are in the form of electrically charged ions. Example, sodium chloride NaCl. It is in the form of Na plus and Cl minus. And magnesium sulfide MgSO4. It is present in the form of Mg2 plus and SO4 2 minus. SO4 2 minus. But they are not absorbed in the root hairs by simple process of diffusion. Simple process of diffusion. But it involves in the use of energy by the cytoplasm. Okay, children. Once ions are absorbed, the ions travel along with water in the xylem vessels and pass to the growing parts of the plants where they are used for plant growth. Okay, children. Thus, mineral salts are one of the natural factors in the plant growth. Okay, children. Plants synthesize food material in the leaves. In the leaves, sugar is the food synthesized in the plants. So, leaves are known as food factories of the world. Children, plants synthesize their own food material in the form of sugars in the leaves. So, leaves are the food factories of the world. Sugar is a simple carbohydrate. But this food has to be transported to all the living cells. All the living cells of the plant. Okay, children, especially to actively growing cells and the cells which store food materials in the plants. So, in these parts, food material is transported. Okay, children. Now, the veins of a leaf consists of xylem and phloem. And these xylem and phloems are continuous with the stem. Okay, children. Phloem sieve tubes are extremely small and the analysis of their contents is not easy. So, number of biologists studied about food transportation in plants with the help of apids. Apids are generally known as green flies. Okay, children, when you see apids clustering around the young stems of the plants as they feed on the plant juices. Okay, children, to obtain this juice, an apid prices the plant tissues with its long needle-like organ called proboscis. Proboscis. Proboscis is a long needle-like organ of the apids. Okay. It can be shown when a feeding apid killed and the stem carefully sectioned. The proboscis only penetrates up to a phloem sieve tube. An apid is killed in the act of feeding, and the body is then carefully cut away, leaving the hollow proboscis still instead into the phloem. It is found that because the contents of the phloem sieve tubes are under slight pressure, the fluid slowly exudes from the cut end of the proboscis in the form of drops. These drops are collected and analyzed. So, the fluid is found in the contained sugars and amino acids. Sugar and amino acids. Apids absorb so much sugar from the phloem through they cannot assimilate all of it, and it excretes out of the body as a sticky syrup called honeydew. Okay, leaves which have been attached by apids often feel sticky as a result of honeydew. Okay, children? You know, children, sometimes bark of the plants damaged more than a half even than the trees alive. How is it possible? Remove all tissues from the center outwards, including the phloem. After few days, remove all tissues from the center outwards, including the phloem. After a few days, when the tissue above and below the ring were analyzed, it was shown that food has accumulated above the ring but was not present below it. If it is left for some more time, the stem increases in thickness immediately above the ring, but no growth occurs below it. So, any damage to the phloem all around the stem will prevent the food from passing down to the roots, and the tree will eventually die. This is a fact of great economic importance because of certain mammals scratching the bark of trees to get the food stored in phloem. Especially during hard winter, when food is secure, voles do these young saplings at ground level, and rabbits can do much damage to older trees. Foresters find it economically worthwhile to enclose new plantations with wire netting to prevent rabbits from entering. Foresters also encourage predators such as foxes, badgers, hawks and owls, as they help to keep down the population of owls and rabbits. Grey squirrels to do great damage, particularly casuarina crop grown at beach and seashore, and for this reason in some parts it is possible to grow these trees as a crop. Okay, children? So this is very important question, children. Read carefully and write the notes. Okay, children? Thank you.